Hello, today we're going to be looking at Narco Number One, written by Doug Wagner, with artwork by Daniel Hilliard. So the premise here is Marcus Wispel has a rare form of narcolepsy. When he gets excited, he passes out. He adapts to this with a homebound life, and he has a harmless infatuation with the girl next door. And so when he witnesses her murder, he is now the number one suspect and must leave his apartment to pursue the killer. Now, this is really interesting. This is the same team who's done Plastic, Vinyl, Plush. They're all separate titles. And I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer. So if you've read any of those, you're pretty familiar with their work. If not, once again, this book doesn't relate to the other ones. It's a very similar style. There's kind of the thing that Wagner does here is kind of uses different things to how do I say, play with kind of distorted reality. And with the narcolepsy with Marcus, he does that here. And it really, like I said, it's a very interesting story. I like the way that Hilliard does when he passes out, from the narcolepsy. And kind of the question is like, there's something that's on the surface seems to be more than just him passing out, like what is kind of going on. Obviously he loses track of time and everything, but it's really interesting premise. And like I said, it's very interesting how, Wagner and Hilliard kind of put this first issue together to get you to understand Marcus. And, they kind of show you how, when he passes out, kind of what happens. But also, now it's kind of a murder mystery. So that'll be kind of interesting going forward. So, like I said, I was really kind of surprised. They're very, their previous books have been very unique and very different from each other, but have kind of a weird, similar theme to it, where it's kind of like, kind of the exaggerated reality in some respects. So, I think it's well worth checking out. I really, enjoyed this first issue, and it, gives you a good reason to come back. And like I said, good script, really nice artwork. I think it's well worth checking out. So what did you think? Did I miss anything in my review? Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming reviews, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.